Hi, welcome to my channel, welcome to my open studio. If you've clicked on this video, then you know this is what I'm making today. One big candle made out of a bunch of little candles. I've had a bunch of tea candles laying around for the past 5 years, and in that 5 years, I've learned that I'm not a tea candle girl. Joshua Tree National Park inspired this project. I saw the sunset there once, and I think these wax colors in this jar will recreate what I saw. This cactus jar is from another candle. I used that up and have been using it for decoration ever since. I'm also taking inspiration from this peach selenite. I like the diagonal lines, and I'm going to make the wax lay slanted like that. I painted this cactus with Joshua Tree National Park in mind too. I did see a coyote after that sunset, so this is going to be in the background for more inspiration. I grabbed wooden wicks. I prefer them over string wicks because it takes no extra tools to make them stand up straight. Okay, so here you go. You got the bird's eye view. I start by removing the metal case and the wick to all the pink tea candles before melting them down. This measuring cup is going to serve as part of my double boiler. You'll see. So while I deshell the wax, I'll tell you a little bit about my time in Joshua Tree National Park. I've been twice. The first time was in 2021 for my 33rd birthday. I was living in San Diego at the time, and my best friend flew in from Montana. Hi, Kellen. The only plans we had were to drive up to Ventura, California from San Diego to kayak around the Channel Islands. So we did that. When we got home, my friend saw that we were only 3 hours from Joshua Tree National Park, and she thought, when is she going to be this close to it again? So we drove out there the next day. The best time to hike at Joshua Tree in June is before 9 a.m. and after 3 p.m. We took our time getting up, getting our coffee and all that before driving into the desert. We checked into our hotel, ate an early dinner, and did a quick hike at sea level. About an hour before the sun went down, we drove up the San Bernardino Mountains to Key View. It's a popular spot to watch the sunset and stargaze afterwards. Key View sits at 5,185 feet. At that altitude, we could see the Salton Sea, Coachella Valley, and on a clearer day, we probably could have seen Signal Mountain in Mexico. Alright, all of my pink candles are ready to melt. I have a small pot with a quarter of it filled with water that's brought to a simmer. The measuring cup sits in there until the wax is liquid, like so. To get the wax to sit diagonally, I set the jar on a slant using my citrus juicer. I pour everything in before starting on my next layer. So that's gonna sit there like that while I start on the next color of wax. I'll do the same exact thing to these pina colada colored candles that I did to the pink ones. So back at Joshua Tree, the sun goes down, people clap. Who out there is a clapper for sunsets? I've witnessed people clapping for sunsets, after church, when the airplane lands. I like to clap when like a theater show is finished. What do you guys out there clap for? Comment below. Joshua Tree is a national park you cannot fuck around in. Oh, I forgot the wick. That's okay. I will keep doing this while I think about how to fix my mistake. Anyway, you have to be aware of the environment. One person dies there every day, to the point where their slogan is "Don't die today." If you go out to the desert, please have at least 1 to 2 gallons of water, a hat, and sunscreen minimum. Other necessities are wear high socks, have a map. I suggest a paper map that you can get from the information center. Download something on your phone, but cell service is limited out there. And always, always, always tell someone where you are. Okay, this is my last pina colada candle, and I figured out what to do with the wick situation. The The whole jar is going into the pot of water to melt enough to transfer it back into the measuring cup. It was kind of satisfying poking into the wax like this. This is how much it dried in 5 minutes. Once it's melted enough, I gracefully transferred it back into the measuring cup to finish melting in the double boiler, and so I can clean the jar out. And here again are my wicks that require some assembly. The wood can be made out of cherry wood, maple, birch, or balsa. These are cherry wood. They come with tiny metal clips and double-sided sticky dots. I take one of the sticky dots and place it underneath the clip. Make sure it's on there real nice and peel off the paper. Then I put my wick between the teeth of the clip, and this is what it looks like. And I'll put it in the center of my jar. The wick is a little longer than I needed, and it'll get trimmed later. And here's the pink wax being poured for the second time. Can you see the Nikki Pina Colada candles in the back? They'll go back into the measuring cup. I'm not worried about the colors mixing. I hope they do. I think it'll give the candle a little more character. So there they go, melting down. It needs to be totally liquid, no chunks. I don't really see a mix in colors, so that's fine too. Here's your aerial view again. I'm pouring in the second layer of wax, still on a slant. I don't even see the colors mixing while being poured, and that pink is not totally solid yet. Hey, if you like this kind of content, I'd say subscribe to my channel. You can like this video and even say hi to me in the comments. Hit the notification bell so you know when I've posted a video. Thanks! Now I'm working on my last set of candles, these sunny yellow ones for the topper. The second time I was in Joshua Tree was exactly a year later in 2022. I was moving from San Diego to New Jersey. I was driving across the country and made Joshua Tree an overnight destination. Not so much to go to the park, but to go to the Integratron for a sound bath. If you ever make your way out there, I highly suggest checking this place out. The dome was built in 1954 by a guy who was trying to communicate with extraterrestrials and time travel. The building is made of all wood, 38 feet tall, and 55 feet in diameter. The structure has amazing acoustics. During the sound bath, the sound coming off the singing bowls reverberated in my brain and swirled like the patterns in the wood. Some of the best 40 minutes of my life. In the middle of the dome, if you speak, your voice only travels up to the ceiling and straight back down at you. We were encouraged to stop there and say something sweet to ourselves before we left. I sang a little of No Rain by Blind Melon. Back outside of the dome on that beautiful 110-degree day, I took advantage of the hammock village. It's a bunch of hammocks under a bunch of sails, and I lounged like a lizard. The other amenity I took advantage of was the spring water on the property. It comes from Mount Shasta. That's 650 miles north, and I'm filling up my water bottles with its water. I mean, color me impressed. And are you impressed by this candle? I'm gonna hang on to the metal pieces for now. I have another idea for them where I melt down crayons and use them as paint for tapers. But look what happened the next morning. Oh my god, what the hell is this? What does it do that? Alright, not sure why it sunk like that, but I have another candle, I'll just fill it in. So yeah, I left it to dry overnight, woke up to this huge dent in the middle, and I'm not sure why it did that, but I have two theories. One, I should have let each layer dry completely before pouring the next one, or two, the wick absorbed some of the wax, but yeah, I have this taper that I can spare, and this will be the topper. I reached out to Kellen to see if she had any advice for anyone going to Joshua Tree National Park, and here's what she wrote. Don't die today. Hike to half your water, then go back. Wear sunscreen, beware of rattlesnakes and other dangerous animals in the area, wear breathable clothes and closed-toed shoes, bring layers for nighttime because it does get cold. I wasn't sure how tough it was going to be to cut the wick, but cherry wood is super soft and easy to cut. Watching this color be added to the candle really makes me glad that the other colors sunk. I think this unexpected color is really going to make a difference and elevate the candle's look. This one is not for sale. I'm keeping it for myself. Thanks for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!